You telling me a God who will watch majority of her children suffer? Wow! Pause right there. Majority, not a few, not an exception. The math says most. Children born into war, starvation, cancer wards, trafficking, drugs, and rings, death, and despair. Babies crying in hospitals without medicine. Mothers bearing children before their own time. Fathers breaking on the floor because rent is due and hope ran out. And the story says that God sees it. God allows it. God has power to stop it. Then we're told to call that living on value energy. To call that love. And if your human father watched you and your siblings burn while he had water in his hands, we wouldn't even call him loving. We'll call him a criminal. We'll call him, we'll call child services. We'll call it evil. So why does divinity get a pass that humanity will be jailed for? Only for a few to be free in order to thank the supposed God. That's the deal that breaks my heart. Create billions, let them drown. Rescue a minority, then demand gratitude from the survivors. Thank me for pulling you out while I watch the boat sink. Worship me because I chose you while I ignored them. That's not love, that's selection. That's favoritism dressed up as grace. Real love doesn't pick favors and call the rest collateral damage. Real love doesn't make freedom a lottery ticket. If love means I save 5%, 3%, and watch 98%, 97% suffer, then love needs a new dictionary. Love is not passive when children are screaming. Love is not strategic when pain is preventable. Love is not patient when injustice, while it pats itself on the back for saving a few. A loving God will move before the prayer, will heal before the diagnosis, will feed before the hunger become a statistic. A loving God will not need worship more than he needs children safe. A loving God will not need worship more than he needs children safe. Twice I said it. You see, if God is love, then love must be the standard, not the other way around. Any theology that makes God less compassionate than a human parent is not theology, it's branding. How often do we conform to the shit that we don't even realize where it comes from? The validity. How often? Every time we say God ways are higher to shut down our moral instinct. Every time we call mass suffering a test while we post God is good from air conditioning. Every time we celebrate our own blessing and label someone else's agony as God's plan, or they say, oh, I'm highly favored. Are you now? Are you now? We conform because question feels like betrayal. But silence is to face a contradiction. It's not fate, it's amnesia. You see, put you up on game. Let your human heart lead your theology. It's a doctrine. If a doctrine makes you more numb than kind, you need to drop it. Your ability to feel pain for strangers is proof that you still have God within you. Don't unalive it to protect doctrine. Refine love by action, not doctrine. Love feeds, love heals, love protects, love doesn't watch and wait for thank you notes. If God is love, God must act like love. Stop celebrating escape and start demanding justice. Not just us, justice. It's not enough to be grateful when you are spared. It's not enough to be grateful that you are spared. Be angry that others were not. Gratitude without outrage becomes complexity. Ask the child question, Daddy, if you could stop my brother from dying and you did not, are you still good? Are you? If theology fails that test, your theology is the problem, not the child. Build the world you want God to be. Be the hands that feed, the voice that defends, the system that protects. Now, God is love. God is love, and with love, God will work through humans who refuse to accept unnecessary suffering. However, that's not how it is. You see, here's the principle. Love that requires suffering to prove itself is not love, it's manipulation. The truth is, a God worthy of worship, right, will grieve more over one child's pain than over 1 billion missing prayers. The morality is we must hold the ideal of God to the same moral standard we hold our human fathers to. You dig? Anything less is utterly of power. You out of worshiping. You see, integrity is to call cruelty mystery just because it's ancient. Integrity is refusing to call cruelty mystery just because it's ancient. I have to re-say, what the? Yes. Meaningful discussion is why is there suffering and what do we do about it? Not who gets to heaven. A just society is built by people who love like God should love. So God's reputation stops being defended and starts being demonstrated. So no, I don't believe in a God who watches the many bleed so a few can sing. I believe in love that ends suffering, not love that explains it. I believe in a God who would rather be misunderstood than to be responsible for unnecessary pain. You see, that's the God I believe in. He, she is not in the sky counting worshipers. He, she in the hands that share food, the voices that fight injustice, the hearts that refuse to accept it is what it is. If you were God for one day, what suffering will you end immediately? Immediately. And does your definition of love match the God you defend? Be brutally honest. Commit in the box. Not just a verse, not a cliche. The truth, your gut knows. Because the world does not need more worshipers of a distant God or sky daddy. You dig? It needs more humans who love like God should love. And share this if you're done calling neglect divine and calling it love. Love is action. You dig? Love is action and love is protection. Continue to unlearn, relearn, and learn. Continue to evolve. Peace.